I grew up in a Catholic home. As a kid going through my first communion, I had a lot of questions. I read a lot of science books and used to enjoy reading the encyclopedia, and things didn't match up with what I was learning in my first communion class and what I was reading outside. And when I would ask about these things, I never really got a good answer. It didn't make a lot of sense. When I finally did my confirmation when I was older, I decided, okay, this is it. If God is real, this is the time. And at the end of it, I was like, no, this is not for me. This is not real. And I gave up on God. Went along for about 10 years. And that's when I first started going to this church. I would hear people around me saying, oh, God spoke to me in this, or God spoke to me in that. The pastor once said, we say we hear the voice of God and people think we're crazy. And sitting in the pews, I agreed with him. I thought, if you're hearing voices in your head, it's probably not a good thing. So my prayer was this: God, even if you never speak to me, because up to that point I had never heard his voice, I'm still going to serve you. I'm dedicating my life to you. I'm going to serve your kingdom. I'm going to serve you. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like or what that means, but my life is yours. But it did come to a point where I had to make a decision where I was either going to get baptized or I was not. And I decided, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And 2 weeks in, I had this dream. In the dream, this guy shows up and I can't see his face. I just see from the neck down, he's wearing white, and he begins to talk to me, and he says, all the questions you have, kind of talking about all the science related questions I had, he says, it is what it is. It doesn't sound like much. It came down to trust, where I could trust the voice that was speaking to me. There was this immense trust I had for the voice. And later on, when I began to read the Bible and I got into the Old Testament, and I read when they asked God what his name was, he says, I am who I am. And that seemed so weird that I kind of received the same kind of wording in the dream. The thing about Jesus is he's so cool. I always thought, going to the church, hearing about Jesus, that, he's like some guy from the past, and he has sandals and a robe, and well, he was wearing a robe in the dream. He was very modern. It wasn't like he was like stuck in the past. He was like up to date. He was very forward looking. This guy, he shows me this table, and it's a big white table. Now I'm giving you the very literate what I actually saw in the dream, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's pretty interesting. So there was this big white table. I don't know if you've ever been to a McDonald's where they have those LED lights on the tables where you touch it and different lights come on. That's kind of what this table looked like. It was a translucent white, and underneath there was little lights, and all the little lights represented people, and the surface represented the earth. And so his favorite thing to do was to help people. And he showed me, look, I move this thing here, and like something would light up, and then it would affect another light, and then he would move it over here, and then it would affect another light. And there was this kind of complex thing going on, but he absolutely loved doing this. Like that was his favorite thing, was to help people. Like that was his favorite pastime. He said, look, whether you're part of my kingdom or not, my kingdom will continue with or without you. And it was just he just kind of put it there, It's like, okay, I just kind of received it. And he says, work is good now, but now you must rest. And I felt a tap on my forehead, and in the dream I saw myself suspended with my arms out and my legs out, suspended in the air, and I felt something like electricity going through me. And it was so mind-blowing. I mean, everything was turned upside down in an instant. I didn't want to wake up from the dream. I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in Jesus. I didn't believe in the Bible. I had just met the creator of the universe. I think I just met Jesus. And then I woke up. things were never the same. After that point in time, for about 3 months, it felt like somebody had turned something on in my brain, and for the next 3 months I had a series of dreams, and it was like a stream of colors and flashes of light, and it almost seemed like somebody had opened 2 faucets of water in my head, and it was just streaming out. I didn't understand any of it. It didn't make any sense to me. It was just this stream of lights and colors at night. I had a hard time adjusting to my new reality. The best way I could describe it is Neo from the Matrix when he gets pulled out. So I remember I would be sitting at the table eating my dinner, lunch, or whatever. This happened a few times, and all of a sudden I would start to trip out. I would start to question what reality was. Like, that's how much my mind was changed. And so I would have to hold the table, and I would have to tell myself, okay, David, relax. This table is real. You're holding a real table. You're real. This room is real. Everything's going to be okay. And it was almost like a panic attack where I was adjusting to a new reality. But I guess that's what happens when everything flips for you, overnight. And so after this happened, I began to become convicted of a lot of different things I had done in the past, and people I had wronged. Now, before this whole thing started, one of the problems I had with Christianity was this whole idea of a sinner. My response was, you don't know me, you don't know anything about me. How can you call me a sinner? Creator of the universe is so concerned with my own, personal affairs that he's going to step into my reality, into my business, and help me along the way when I'm, doing his work and following, his walk, his way. And that really kind of took me aback. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm no one for him to be doing this for. I'm nothing. And then I realized I'm a sinner. And that really just broke my heart. I heard a pastor say one time, don't ever ask God to humble you, because that could spell bad news for you. And at the time I wasn't a believer, but it made sense to me. It's like, yeah, sure, you probably don't want to do that. But I never thought I would be humbled by nothing but love. And that was the real kind of breaking point in my heart, and a real change in my heart, where I realized I was a sinner. And so it gave me a humbleness that I didn't have before. And the 15 years since that happened, life has not been the same. Everything changed, and the dreams continued, and I kept, it started small, and then it kept getting more, and it's every day, every week, every month, it's just something new. It's an amazing experience.